Hello everyone, welcome to Spanish Video Lessons, and today we're going to be going over the AR, ER, and IR verbs. What are they? An AR verb are verbs that ends with AR. So let's take for example the verb work. That's an AR verb in Spanish. Trabajar, it ends with AR. Escuchar, that's to listen. That ends in AR. So you notice that these verbs have AR ending. So that's what I mean when I say AR verbs, okay? So then also you have the ER verbs, which are verbs that end in ER. So example, entender, to understand, entender. To want, querer. To have, tener. To obtain, obtener. To know, saber. So really quick, we're going to look at IR verbs. Examples would be escribir, to write. To receive, recibir. To live, vivir. To come, venir. To go out or to hang out, salir. It also means to leave. Just so you know, that's what I mean when I say AR verbs, ER verbs, and IR verbs. The one thing I want you to remember is when saying these verbs with the ending on it, such as AR, ER, IR, you need to know that that means to plus the verb. So this verb right here, estudiar, it doesn't just mean study, it means to study, okay? So I need you all to actually remember that. Keep that in mind. Whenever these verbs have AR, ER, or IR at the end of it, that is literally saying to plus that verb. Querer, to want. Okay? Venir, to come. Salir, to go out, to leave, to hang out. So you want to keep in mind to plus that verb. So we're going to go ahead and do an exercise, and we're going to utilize these verbs in sentences. So eventually we are going to start conjugating these verbs. Some of you might already know how to conjugate them, so it might be a review for you. But we're going to get into that, not in this lesson. Right now I want us to form sentences just using these verbs as is. So for example, I want to study. How would you tell me I want to study? So I'm going to help you out a little bit. Hopefully you all remember this, but I want is quiero. Quiero. Or you can say yo quiero. Saying quiero is already implied that is I want, so you don't have to say yo quiero. Some people say yo quiero to put more emphasis on it. So and also to remember it with the ending conjugation, which we're going to go over that. The sentence is I want to study. How would you say that? That's right, quiero estudiar. Because once again, to study. You already said I want to study. How would you say I want to work? I want to work. Quiero trabajar. Quiero trabajar. Okay? I don't want to work. I don't want to work. No quiero trabajar. So I don't ever want any of you all to think about, well, I don't know how to say don't. I don't know how to say didn't. Don't and didn't is simply no in Spanish. Get it? You just put no in front of want. So if you say I want, in Spanish you're literally just saying no I want. I no want, okay? So no quiero, that's I don't want, okay? No quiero trabajar. I don't want to work. I don't want to work today, not tomorrow. No quiero trabajar hoy ni mañana. Okay? I want to go out today. I want to go out today. So how would you say to go out or to hang out or to leave? Salir. So I want to go out today. Quiero salir hoy. I want to go out tonight. Quiero salir esta noche. The direct translation of this is this night, okay? This night, esta noche, which in English is equivalent to tonight. I don't want to work tonight. No quiero trabajar esta noche. No, señor. So we already discovered how to form I want plus the verb. You're literally just saying quiero and you go right into the verb, okay? So right here are a list of different areir and ir verbs. I want you all to write these down, screenshot it, look them up, find these verbs, or get you a verb book if possible. It is very important to memorize verbs. These verbs are everything in Spanish, okay? Actually, verbs are everything in every language. In order to have a conversation, you have to know how to conjugate verbs. So like I explained earlier, we are going to start conjugating verbs. Right now, I want us to focus on just putting them in some sentences without conjugating them. So let's look at another way you can utilize these verbs without breaking them down, keeping them as is. So you already have like, I want to study. Quiero estudiar, right? Hablar, to speak. Quiero hablar. I want to speak. So I wanted to take a look at this breakdown of the verb want really quick. Querer, and we have I want, which is quiero. You want, quieres. He or she wants, quiere. We want, queremos. They want, quieren. We're going to do the same thing that we just did with I want, such as I want to speak, I want to study, I want to work, I don't want to work, I want to go out. We're going to use these same verbs, but we're going to use different pronouns with them. So example, you want to study. Looking at you want, how would you form this sentence? It's going to be the same way that you would do I want to study. So quiero estudiar, I want to study. ¿Quieres estudiar? You want to study. Do you want to study today? ¿Quieres estudiar hoy? She wants to go out. She wants to go out. Quiere salir, because it's she wants. She in Spanish is going to be ella, and then you have he in Spanish, which is él. Okay? Él and ella. So that's the conjugation that you see when you see quiere. He or she is going to go with quiere. He or she wants to study. So ella quiere. She wants. Él quiere. He wants. So how would you say he wants to work? Él quiere trabajar. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and take a look at tener, using the verb tener. So this is the verb to have, which this is how it's going to break down. I have is tengo. You have is tienes. He or she has. Tiene, which would be él tiene, he has, or ella tiene, she has. And also about this, so when you see the he or she version, remember that a person's name or a person can also replace that. For example, if I say like my mom has, it would just be mi mamá tiene, right? I don't have to say mi mamá ella tiene or ella mi mamá tiene. No, mi mamá tiene. My mom has. She has. Ella tiene. Right? My dad has. Mi papá tiene. He has. Él tiene. Okay? So, tengo, tienes, tiene. Then you have tenemos, which is we have. And then last but not least, we have they have. Tienen. Now, the funny thing about using tener plus a verb is you have to put que in between. So the word que has several meanings, but in this case, it has no meaning whatsoever. It is just a connector. Okay, I want you to think about it like that. Remember it like that. It is a connector, means nothing. But it has to be the bridge to Canada. You can't get to Canada without crossing the bridge, okay? So you can't go from the verb tener right into another verb. What I mean by that is this is a mistake. I have to study. Tengo estudiar. You cannot go right into the verb without putting que. That's the bridge to Canada, okay? This is Detroit. That's Canada. Que es the bridge. Tengo que estudiar would be the correct way to say I have to study. I have to work. Tengo que trabajar. Right? He has to speak. So first think of he has, which would be él tiene, then the verb to speak. Hablar. Él tiene que hablar. We have to study tonight. Tenemos que estudiar esta noche. The verb practicar, which is to practice. How would you tell me, Ambi, I have to practice tonight? Tengo que practicar esta noche. So I do not expect you to memorize these verbs right away. Obviously, this is going to take some self-study. So for homework, if I can give you homework, I want you all to please memorize AR verbs. You can use flashcards, you can write notes, however it is that you study, just memorize verbs. The verbs are the most important thing when speaking, okay? So for our class next week, we are going to go into using these same verbs into future tense, but we're not conjugating them just yet. We're going to use ir, and we're going to play around with that a little bit next week, and we're also going to review this lesson definitely. There are more rules for when there's two verbs in one sentence, such as I have to study, right? Have and study are both verbs. I want to go. Want and go are both verbs. I know how to cook. Know and cook are both verbs. So there's more to this lesson. We're going to have to definitely review this next week, and we are going to dive into using it into the future. So I'm going to cook. I'm going to study. We're going to sing together. Things like that, okay? So thank you all so much for tuning in to your Spanish video lesson today. Please, please, please try to do 10 verbs a day. If that's a little excessive, please 6 verbs a day, okay? So in 7 days, you should have learned 6 times 7, which is what? 42, 48? I'm not good at math, but 6 times 7, those are the amount of verbs that you should know by next week. I know it's 40 something, okay? So please, you all, AR verbs, ER verbs, and IR verbs. Verbs that end in these 3 endings, please try to memorize those. That's it for today. Thank you all for tuning into this lesson, and see you all next week. Bye.